Mm.
Chupito.
Hey, Chupito, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Mm. Check on F7. I don't know. I could try rook a2. So he plays check. I go here. And he drops back. Yeah, if he does that. Maybe check. King here. Check again. Takes. Maybe we go there. Ugh. Okay, to drink. Check on C2. I can't find it. But all we need is to remove the rook from here, man. Like if the rook wasn't here, it would have been a checkmate here and here. What does c2 lead to? I don't really like it because it disconnects the rooks. So he goes here, you can play this. Maybe c2. Well, you can also go here. So c2, here or here. So he plays c2 if he goes there. I have this check. He takes the rook. I take his rook, and then he takes the pawn. That's far from being winning. And c2, king b2. Still very hard to think that could be winning. Could play this. Yeah. c2, king b2, rook a2. So c2, king b2, rook a2. Takes here. You're down a rook already, though. Maybe. What if he goes king c1, though? Takes and promotes. Take what? If it takes... if it takes the rook, we promote. But what happens if he plays king c1? So c2 check, king c1. Maybe we just move the rook. I don't know. What about c2? And after king moves, whatever, move rook a3 to c3. It's just that the king is gonna go to c1. So if we play c2, check, king c1, and you play rook c3, he's gonna take the rook. Hitting the other rook, your rook, and promotion would be impossible. Just rook g2. So you're saying that I should play this? I don't get it. Maybe a king move? The only one that makes sense is king c6. But then the rook is gonna stay here. It's gonna go either here. Maybe I can remove the rook from here. No, it's always getting a square. So we go here. The rook can go down. Play this. And the rook can go here. I play this, the rook goes here. I play this, the rook goes down. So yeah, it always has a square to stay. Rey F3, Rey F2 y H4. Pero Rey F3 es esto. So C2, then if king C1, then rook D3. And you can check on D1 and win a rook. Yeah, but if I play C2 here and I play rook D3, as you want me to, he takes the pawn. The pawn on C2 will be taken. Coordenadas. Sí, pues dilas bien, tú, porque si me decís rey F3 no entiendo. ¿Quieres decir rey C6? The other rook? You mean C2 and this rook goes to D3. Okay. That seems more promising, I guess. Yeah. It's the first solid plan that we find. Rey 6, rey 7 y b1 a 5. Ya, pero tiene b8, rey 6. La torre se puede ir a b8. No la voy a sacar de acá. No. Siempre tiene dos. But you threat nothing. No, I am. Actually, you're right, because if I go here and I play c2 and I give a check, if he takes, he's great. But if he doesn't take, if he just takes the pawn instead, I'm threatening nothing. That's correct. Because he's going to take the pawn, and then you want to take this rook. Okay, the king's going to take your rook. So yeah, that's true. We're not threatening anything. Rook d1 isn't that because the other rook hangs. Exactly, yeah. Your c2 is checkmate. c2 is checkmate? It's not. Check and he goes king c1. So c2, king c1, rook g2. But why do you want to play rook g2? I don't get it. Is it because you're threatening this? Is that the idea? I don't think it's a problem for white, because white can go king b2, I believe. Can play king b2. Rook a3 to a2. So the rook goes here, you say. Why? What does it do? After, and if king b2, then rook. Yeah, but king b2 is not gonna be played. I don't think that's the move that they are considering. Let him take the rook. Oh yeah, in this variation, when you think that he goes here, but the king is gonna be on c1, I think. He's not gonna go to b2. Can't see the time. It's not with time, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle, so there is no time limit. This is survival mode. Sacrifice the rook. The king move. Peón up. ¿Pero qué torre queréis sacrificar? ¿Esta? ¿El peón va barrido? Pero no te sirve sacrificar la torre. Oh, because he's gonna tank. If you go c2, he's gonna go king b2. And then what's the master plan? You go here, she's gonna take the pawn. And then you can take this rook, yes. But he's gonna take this one, and it's gonna be a draw, I guess. The white rook is forced to take, and you make a queen. In what variation? Hi, Heisenberg, hello. Start moving your king up. You mean this move? It feels a bit slow. I don't see how the king can help, because he can always give a check. And if we're not careful, we can trade rooks, and if we trade rooks, we're losing our advantage. King c6, rook ba. Alright, so king c6, rook ba. King c7. King c7, rook b4. a5. And what are you achieving exactly with a5? What does it do, a5? Why is it so good? Just straight up c2. c2, king c1. Todo dicho. Pero no entiendo qué hace a5. Si la torre está en b5. Y tu rey está en c2. Yeah, rook b5, exactly right. Why is TikTok ending your stream on my phone? Damn. I don't know, bro. I have no idea. It sounds like a Jew problem. It's rook b2.
Thank you!
To rook a1, I think. Thank you, Andy, for the heart me. I appreciate it. You think that this rook goes here. We're also looking at this, but... Yeah, if we play that, I guess... He's gonna be fine. He's just gonna go. Alright, so rook a2. I imagine this check here. I calculated this myself, I believe. So check, we go over there, and then the rook goes down. But then we give a check with the pawn. The pawn goes here. Sorry, the king goes to c1. We give another check, and then the king takes the pawn. So I don't know. I don't see how you're winning that. Push the pawn. Yeah, but what do we do after king c1? That's the question. That's why we're reluctant to play it. Because I don't see the clear continuation. Why doesn't c2 work? That's the question that we have. That's why we're not playing it yet. Because king c1, and then how do you proceed? How do you continue after that? Rook a1. Yeah, rook a1, I don't think it works. It's just gonna take. Then I imagine the idea is to play c2, but then the king goes back, and you're not gonna be able to promote. Give a check, take the rook. So you mean this check? If I take, he takes, and then he takes the pawn, and you're not gonna win that. c2, and then a1. So you mean this? King here, rook a1, he takes the rook, I take his rook, and then he takes the pawn. I don't think it's correct. King c6, rook a2. So you say king c6. The rook, where does it go? Does it go to b8? Or maybe b5? Sorry, b4. And then you want to play rook a2. Ah, hey, wait! Hey, that's actually interesting because now he doesn't have this check. So I'm not wasting time. So that's the idea of playing king c6, right? Okay, Lanko. Yeah, I think that improves the variation a little bit. Okay, so if we don't waste time, so yeah, the rook goes elsewhere. So we play this, the rook goes elsewhere, and now rook a2. Where is he going? I imagine he's gonna go here, right? He's gonna go to c1. But then I have a check here, and then I have another check. Oh, and I'm winning the rook. No, we're finally finding something. I think that king c6 seems to be correct. I'm a genius. Yes, Lanko, I see your point. I think it's very clever indeed. So we just go rook king c6, removing the king from the open file. So he doesn't have a check to coordinate the pieces. So we go here, and then rook a2. It seems to be winning. It seems to be winning a rook by force. Yeah, I'm about to play it. When he just move the king, where will you want to move the king? Wherever the king goes, it doesn't matter. We have this check. Oh, I see your point. You're talking about rook b1. Is that so? Oh, yeah, rook b1. That could be a problem. Yeah, I guess he plays king c1. Ah, but if you go... Oh, fuck. So here, c2. c2. So rook b1 is not available. So we played c2 in that position. The rook is over here, by the way. So the king is over here. We played c2, threaten this check. So the king has to go down. If the king goes down, how do we make progress if the king goes down? That's the thing. I don't know how to make progress. What time is this game? Oh, this is a puzzle. It's not a game. It's a puzzle.
Bad.
Thank you for the follow back. King c6 is the right move, trust me. Yeah, but I couldn't find the win. It looks very interesting though. King c6. But I couldn't find the win. Rook a2, king c1. And then, what's the idea? I think I got it. King c6, rook b1. So, that's not the way for you to move the rook. Oh, you think that king c6 and he's gonna play rook b1, so he's gonna eat the king? Come on. You gotta get your coordinates on point. Rook a3. Hey, Zach. Rook a2. Yeah, we're trying to make it work, but I think we have to play king c6 first. Pawn c2, then rook d1. If we go for this, he's gonna go here, and then the check, and then he can simply take. He can simply take the rook. Maybe we can give another check. It doesn't change much. So king c6. King c6, okay. Rook 8.
Skill issue.
I don't get it though. d1 and then c2. Yeah, but king c1, and how do you win that? You play c2, the king is on c1. It's just that it's hard to imagine the position if you're only considering black's moves. What is white playing? White is trying to play the best defense, which is c1, so they can have b1, and that's why you're playing c2, right? But the king can simply go down. If the king goes down, how are you supposed to win that? How do you win that? Just go for it. It's just that I'm not rushing. I want to get it correct. Isn't this winning a rook on h1? It isn't, because he has king c1. He has king c1. So if we give it check, it's going to bring the rook to block. Rook 2 and then rook a1. Yeah, it's not that simple, chat, because you're overlooking king c1. He's gonna block like this. Double the rook first. If I double the rook first, I think he has a check. He has a check. I go here, and then he goes here, and maybe I can play c2, king c1. I give a check, he takes the pawn. I'm not winning that endgame. If he takes the pawn, it's practically over. Wait. I just don't see it, man. I don't have it clear. Promote your pawn. He's not gonna let me, though. White is trying to draw this. Rook d3 after pushing. It's too slow. And it doesn't do anything. You might think that this is okay. After king c1, rook d3, you're not really threatening anything. Because if you give a check, he's just gonna take. And if you take the rook, he's gonna take your rook. And if you give another check, nothing changes. He's gonna drop down. And you give another check. Your rook is always in contact with the white king. So as soon as you commit to take this rook, he's gonna take your rook. Bro, just push the pawn on rook d3. It doesn't work. King c6, then rook a2. Look, king c6 is a forcing move, you know. I think it has to be related to forcing moves. And this is the only one I see. But the problem is that rook here is also a forcing move. It forces king c1. So it's either king c6 or rook a2. And I think rook king here is a little bit more promising. My instinct tells me that this is a bit better. But I can easily be wrong here. Because it removes the king from check, from getting a check on d1. But I don't have it clear. Make a move. I'm trying to be patient and get it right. After rook a2, you check and then push pawn. Yes, but if I play rook a2 immediately, he's gonna go rook d1 check. And then I have to go king c6. And I think that in that position, they should play something like this.
KURTTT
Thank you for the name, Kurt. Sorry for the follow. Push pawn, rook a1. Yeah, so you want to play this. King c1, rook a1, takes.
Damn.tlot low.
And then I guess you want to promote or something, right? Damn, thank you for the follow. Bro, just played c2. Yeah, but it doesn't work. King c1. You want to give this check, you lose the rook. And then you're going to lose the pawn on c2.
Sibisiso Bongoni.
Thank you for the follow, Shibasiso. King c6, rook drops down to b8, then king c7, rook b5, then a6. Yeah, he has rook b4. You want to play a5? And then he's going to go here. So you're not really making much progress, are you? c3 to b2. So you mean the pawn on c3 goes to b2? Pawn push, rook a1. I like the way you try to simplify this, but it's just not working, chat, because it's going to go c1, rook a1, king takes rook, and then you might want to take this one. Sure, you can do it, and then you don't lose this pawn, and that's a draw. You're not winning that. I think rook a2. If he checks with rook, you just slide. You just slide and attack rook. Exactly. We go here, and then he's gonna go here. And how do you win that exactly? How are you supposed to win that endgame? Okay, but the difference is your king can no longer be checked. That's why we were looking at c6, king c6. c3 to c3 to b2, then his rook. We did what? c3 to b2? How's that a thing? How's that a thing? Rook a2, threaten check. Yeah, but what are you trying to accomplish? Because if you go here, white gives a check. We play king c6, hitting the rook, right? And then he's gonna go down, right? And now what are you gonna do with these two rooks over here? Are you gonna give a check? King c2. Are you gonna give another one? He's just gonna... I mean, you have a draw maybe. At best, you're gonna have a draw. But alright, let's have a look at that. But it's just not here. It forces this check. Sorry, I had to play c6 first. Because you're gonna give me a check. I'm trying to make it work, but I just don't see it. So the rook is over here. He gives a check on d1. King c6. And then the rook goes down, right? I imagine that this is the move to defend the other rook. The rook goes down, and the rook is over here, and the pawn is here. So you give a check with the pawn, for example. King goes here. If I play the rook here, he has a check. And that check seems very annoying. So I just don't see it. I just don't see it. King c6, rook drops down. Yes. And then what? c2, rook a2, rook a4. c2. And white doesn't get to play. Because if I were white, I'll go to c1. And then your rook a2 would be very stupid. Rook a2 is winning. You mean this rook? Here? Okay, rook d1 check. King c6. Rook d7. And how do you win exactly? Rook a3 to a2. Oh, so you mean this rook goes here. And then what? It is a move, though. Oh, how do you plan to win, though? That's my question.
Samuel Costco.
You give a check. Samuel, thank you for the follow. King c6, rook drops to b8, then king c7, rook b5, and then a6, rook b4, a5, rook b5, then rook d, a2, double rook. Okay, that seems interesting, Fabi. So you say king c6.
Green.
Green, thank you for the follow. King c6, the rook drops down. I agree with you. to b8. Then the king goes to c7. Rook b5. You want to play a6. Then the rook goes to b4. Then we play a5. Okay. And then rook b5. And then rook d a2. That changes things a little bit though. Yeah. Now they don't have excellent piece coordination. So if he goes king c... Okay, but then you want to play this rook here. Right? King c1. I play king c1 after the rook is on b5. It's exactly like you said. What do you do after that? After king c1? That's what comes next, Fabi. What do we do after that? After king c6 and rook moves back, then maybe rook a2 works because he has no check. Yes. Yes, I mean, it does compromise White's position a little bit. But king c1 is my problem now. The king goes to c1 and the rook can always defend on b1. So I don't know what I'm missing there. King c6, then he moves, then rook a2. He moves king c1, then check on a1, then he blocks. We got then pawn c2. Like he takes your rook, right? I don't get it, but I'm gonna play king c6. Okay, so king c6 was the correct move. Now he plays rook b8. It's actually like we predicted. Now, how do you want to make progress from here? Told you all, I'm a genius. Yes, king c6 seems to be the most promising move for sure. Now, pawn c2, king c1. So pawn c2, king c1. Let me have a look at that. Rook a1. He's rook b1, rook d1. He takes rook d1. Take with... I don't understand Samuel. Now rook a2. He moves king to c1, then check. And then he blocks rook b1. Then pawn c2. Okay, but he takes with the king. Okay, so we have pawn c2. I didn't get it. Now a2, then no more checks. Should you say this? You harass the rook until you have the option, but you'll never be able to do it because you go here, he's gonna go here, a6, b5, a5, and then the rook goes here. And then what are you gonna play? King c6. It's gonna go to b8. And you can never get out of remove the rook from this open file. Pawn c2. King c7. After the rook moves, he can't defend the checkmate from a2. Yes, he can. He's just gonna go here or here.
Schoonboon.
Schoonboon, thank you for the follow. Pawn c2, free rook. No, because he's going c1, check. He takes your rook. You're gonna take this one, and you lose the pawn. Rook d5. Rook c5, sacrifice. You say this? You're not really sacrificing anything, you're just trading pieces. Tanks, king c2. It's the only move that makes sense. Which one? Rook a2. So, rook a2 is a forcing move. But it is also c7. King c7 is also forcing. But I guess it's simply not a big deal, I guess. Rook a2 works. So you want to play the rook on d2 to a2. King c7, rook b5. rook b5, a6, rook b4, a5, rook b5, rook d, a2, king c1, king c6, rook ba, rook ba, a4, a4, g5. So he doesn't give you a check or something. g5, rook b3. What? You want to give this check? I have two connected pass pawns. I don't know. a2, c8, b7, a8, and you win rook. Rook a2, rook c1, king c1. Rook a2, king c1, rook a1, rook b1, bottom rook a2. Oh, so you keep the tension. Is that it? You want to keep the tension? Ah, and then you want to push the pawn. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, you might be into something there. So we go here, here, and then check, rook b1, and then the other rook goes here. And then c2 is going to win the game. Ah, that makes so much sense. How do you stop that? And you can't move the rook because it's pinned. Hey, I think we found it. I think Lanka found it. Thanks for supporting my gold streamer. Just mother's here. Nice. King c7. Bro, been waiting 10 minutes on that. Yes. It's just that I finally see the win line, I think. Yeah, we're not harassing the rook because it's pointless. We just go here.
Skill issue.
I'm gonna
Skill issue. Skill issue.
You see, chat?
Skill issue.
We suck. We suck. Let's have a look at what was the solution. Someone said a4 and all that, yeah. Okay. So let's see. So what happened here was rook takes, which is completely losing. We play c3.
Skill issue.
And he went rook b7. So the move in c6 is correct. The rook goes to ba. And when the rook is on ba, this move is just losing. Well, not really losing, it's just a draw. And the problem of this move is rook c8. Rook c8 is the problem. Because if you move, he's just gonna take. He's gonna take the pawn. Takes the pawn. And yeah, he's just not making any progress now. It's just gonna take and then it's a draw at best. I think white's winning. He has like, yeah, 10,000 points. That's what we missed. So we have to go king c7. We have to harass the rook and in the end. So the rook is going to b4. And now we go a5. And now the rook goes to b5. And now we play king c6. And now the rooks go to b8. And when the rook is on ba, we play rook d, a2. I just don't get it. I don't know how is this different. So check. King b5. And if he takes the pawn now, we are winning this endgame. Because of here. Oh, but that is so hard to see, bro. I mean, It wins because if he goes down like this, he's getting mated with the pawn. And that is the small difference. Oh my god, that was such a difficult puzzle. No one mentioned this. It's just that it's so hard to see. I wouldn't blame you at all. It's just that now the king is forced to go here because if otherwise he gets mated. And that's the big difference. Now we just stay with check. He takes, and now we take the other rook. And that's how you win. With the passed pawn and the rook behind the pawns. That is some crazy shit. I saw that. That's an absurd line. Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. Yeah. So you have to find this mating net with the king. After the check happens on c8, king b5 is threatening a mating net, which is really hard to see. So when you realize that this is forcing basically mating net or losing the both rooks, you don't take and you play rook b8. But rook b8 doesn't do anything because now we go king c4 and the king is way too close. So here, and I guess we're trying to hide somewhere, but everything seems to be winning now. Yeah, I can even play this, and we still have a mating net. Because now here, we go rook b3, and the king is joining the action. Yeah, rook b3, cutting the rook. So if it takes, king takes, and he has to play this to avoid the checkmate or go here and lose the rook. Yeah, he's gonna go here, and then we just win the rook. Damn, no, that was actually very difficult. That was a difficult puzzle. Not easy at all. No one got it right. I don't think anyone... Did anyone see this? I don't think he did. I can finally end the stream. Yeah, sorry. It took a while. It's hard to believe you had to give up c3. Yeah. Oof. All right, we have one more attempt before we lose our run. So in this one, so I have rook takes c6, king takes, not convinced. I do have this. I have this move, rook a1, hitting a7, and then after king b6. Maybe I play something like this. It feels too slow. We do have king safety. Well, he can take here though. Oh. It's a bit dangerous. Then takes here and then mate, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Tom Dottle.
I can go rook a1. Thank you for the follow, Tom. Yeah, queen h7, rook a1 seems very good. But do you see the mate? I don't really see it. I like rook a1 because it is a forcing move.
Rambo.
Well, queen h7 is also forcing. Thank you for the follow, Rambo. After king b6, you can't just take the queen. What? Oh. Well, not really. I'll have to... It's just that... I guess it's this move first. But then king b6 and then... like this. Well, we also have this move, but... So I guess it's about trapping the queen. We have to find a way to trap it. So check, and the king has to go to b6. And then if I go here, I hit the queen and the pawn on h7. So I think we should start with queen h7, check. King b6, and then rook here. If it takes the pawn, we go here, and we win the queen. Okay, so this move. So queen h7 first, right? Queen h7 check, king b6, rook a1, and then the queen goes elsewhere. I guess it's gonna go. Well, in either case, we have this also. But I think that the important thing is that we can take on a7. I think that's the idea. Take it on a7. All right, so I'm gonna go for it. I think queen h7 is correct. Bad move. His rook is free to take your pawn next to your king. Yeah. I'm aware of that. I think it could be a problem. Rook first? You think that the rook should go here first? So we play the rook first, and then rook g3 is just not available. Yeah. Maybe the rook first. Queen h7 defends the g3 sacrifice. Queen h7? Oh yes, it does. Because it only works because the other rook is coming. But queen h7 is actually defending that. It's defending g8. Queen d7 after check. Oh, you want to go here? But then the rooks will defend c6. I think it's this. It's really forcing. I don't gotta get it wrong though. Opponent sack on g3 and then go rook g8. That looks scary. Yeah, but queen h7 is defending g8. And he's activating the...
Jejan Lesmana.
He's activating the queen. It has to be good. It has to be correct now. And now rook a1. Yeah. Nice. Good. Thank you for the follow, Jejan. Queen to h7, check the king. Me, a genius. I mean, I play it. Okay, so black to play and win. Oh, Jesus Christ. The pawn is going down.
Pikachu.
Thank you for the follow, Pikachu. Nice, I got it right. Good, good. Okay. What about this one, huh? This one seems scary. So there are two pawns about to promote. I guess we should go with e7. e7 check. Can you hear, I guess? We push the other one. We try to promote like this. Whoa. I can't take it because if I take, I get this and then takes and then I lose the rook. So I can't take it. Maybe c6 better than d7. c6. If the king goes here, I have a mate. So c6 and then here. Do I have time for c6? I think I should be okay. If I go here, takes. Oh, he's also threatening rook ba. So if he plays rook ba, I take, and then he promotes. And if I take, he promotes. Oh shit, I don't have time. So I have to go with check then. I had to play d7. Or not. Well, promote your pawn under your rook. But it's black's turn. What do you mean? King c8? No, king c8 is losing. He's gonna go here. Gonna go rook b8 check. I take, and then he promotes. Exactly, king c8 didn't work. Promote pawn c7, but I don't have time for it.
I am I.
Rami, thank you for the follow. I don't have time for it. Rook h1. Check. So we give a check, it's gonna go king e2. How's that winning? How's that winning? Well, you check again. Just eat the pawn on h7. I can't. It's losing also. Because if I take, he promotes. We check, by the way. It's double check. So I take the queen and he takes my rook. So rook d2, you say. Rook d2. And then he promotes. He's gonna go here or here. Like he's making a queen check. You can't let him do that. The right move is to resign. Yeah, if we get it wrong, we will lose the run. Rook d2, then f3. You don't have time for f3 because he's promoting. How are you supposed to do that if he's gonna promote? Go king c3. King c3. You're gonna go rook b8. Rook b8 and I take the pawn on h7. And then he promotes this one. No. Use your rook to take his promotion. Let him. What? Go king c8. It doesn't work either, Chad, because check. Sorry, go here. Check. I take the pawn, and then he promotes. I mean king c8. It doesn't work. If he promotes, take rook. I can't take the rook. Because it's gonna go rook b8. So rook b8, king takes pawn, and then he promotes. Pawn e2. Pawn e2 check. This is what we have to calculate. We have to calculate over here, Chad, because this is, if you're trying to stop this, you'll lose the game. You can't stop it. It's not possible to stop it. So you have to find a way to generate counterplay over here. It's all about finding a way to win with what we have over here. So e2 is a more promising move than taking this or playing king here or here. None of those lines work. But e2, we need to check it out. So e2, what does white do? So white can go here. And then I can play f3. Or maybe I play f3. Because another thing that I'm realizing in this position is that white... Oh yes, white can make progress. Yeah, white can go here. If white goes to rook b8, I can't stop promotion. If he promotes to c3, he can just take. What? f3 promotion check with pawn, etc. I mean, he doesn't have promotion immediately. If he plays the promotion idea immediately, he's gonna lose. So we do have a time to play f3. We do have a tempo to go either f3 or e2. I prefer f3. I prefer f3 because having the two pawns like that makes sense to me. And then he's gonna go rook ba. So rook ba. And then I have to give a check, I guess. I give a check on e2. And then the king can go here. So hard. Just let it stay. What? Play. I'm trying to get it right. I don't want to fail. I don't want to lose the run. But honestly, I think it's f3. What about rook d7? Rook d7 and then you're not controlling this anymore. It doesn't feel right. The rook is perfectly placed. But f3, I'm trying to make this work, but it's so hard. So f3, rook ba. Can I go here? No, because he's gonna go here. No, I don't have time. He's gonna promote. Jesus Christ. Okay, what about f3 now? It's just that rook b8 is always winning. Alright, so f3, rook ba, e2. e2 check. e2 check. So the king can either go here, here, or here. If he goes there, I win. If he goes here, I just don't see it. Clearly forgetting your rook. I'm not. I'm trying to get it involved in the game, but I don't know how. King can come 1-5. What? Maybe after f3, check first. Okay. So f3, and you mean this check. That actually kicks the king away. Oh! f3, check. King goes here, only square. And then... shouldn't we just take this? Yes, I think that's correct. Because... I take the pawn. No, first it would be... Alright, so f3. He goes rook ba. I give a check. King here. I take this one. He promotes. I take. And then I go f2. The king is over here. So he doesn't have time. So he has to play rook f1. And if he plays rook f1, I have e2, and I win. And if he goes rook h1, this move again, it's winning. Here, and then... Ah, we found it. I think we found it. We found it. I think we found it. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Okay. I forgot about the check! I knew the answer and I forgot to give it the check! Ah!
Skill issue.
I forgot the check and I knew that I had to play it.
Skill issue.
Oh, I'm just stupid. It's check first, king goes here,
Skill issue.
and then I take the pawn. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. And I knew the answer, and I forgot to play it. Oh my god, it's the levels of stupidity, man. Off the charts, like always. Alright, man. I'm super sad. You said it right! Yes, I did! I knew what I was supposed to play and I didn't play it. That is just sad, bro. It's just super sad. Okay. I'm gonna play some Rapid today. I usually play Blitz, but this time I'm gonna play some Rapid. So... yeah. Damn it, bro. That's sad. That is just sad. The fuck? What is bro doing? Well done. It pisses me off. It really does. Because we had it all calculated and then I blundered like an idiot. Oh. No rush.
You stupid.
Tell me about it, chat. Yeah, you better resign. Oh my goodness, that was just... And now I feel a little bit better, you know? Because bro played really poorly that one. By the way, if you're struggling against the London system, I would highly recommend that you play this line. C5 immediately. Trying to target b2 and punishing this idea of getting the bishop out so early. As you can see, he's 2000 and he blundered a lot. First of all, he blunders the pawn. And then he plays e4, trying to be active. But it's also a blunder because now the queen is just not defending b2. And then queen c7 seems scary, but in reality, after knight c6, it's resignable. So yeah. Okay, let's play another one. That 2000 don't know the London. I mean, the c5 line, it surprises a lot of players. They're not used to it. Because you don't let them consolidate this stupid triangle that they like so much. So, yeah, there's that. I want to take the puzzle score out. Yeah. There we go. Knight f6 immediately. It's a bit strange. But I don't know how to punish it. Oh, she's just trying to play. Ah, did I get trick on? Yeah, I think I blundered a little bit here. Well, nothing really serious, but bro's trying to play this line. I think I'm gonna take the knight. I'm gonna go e5. So this knight is really bad. So he has to go back. Yeah, that's why this is a mistake, right? He has to go back now, and I should have a better position. Now I guess he's gonna play something like f6 or whatever. We're gonna keep developing our pieces. I think short castle makes sense this time. He's targeting the pawn. Perhaps some tactics here. I'm trying to see if there is something. I don't really see anything. Queen e2 makes sense. Queen f3 as well. This pawn is hard to defend. I guess it's gonna go f6 if I play queen f3. And then, I really like this idea of playing e6. Let me ask some questions. Let me see what he does here. Is he gonna go f6? I could also simply take the knight and win his castle, right? But I also like e6 a lot. e6 disrupting this pawn. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, he can go e6. I completely forgot about that. Alright, so now we're just gonna defend the pawn, I guess. And long castle can be possible as well as short castle. If you want a steady game, I think that you should go short castle here. But your king is not being attacked at all, so maybe this is still fine. Okay, so he's trying to put pressure on the pawn. Which I get it, it's the only piece that he can really attack. Sorry, it's the only thing that he has going on for him. He's spinning the knight as well. My question is, should I let him take it? Probably no. No, we have to keep it together. We're gonna go here so the knight cannot be developed. But I think he's gonna go 97. So 97 is sort of a problem. 97.
Min.
Okay. I'm gonna play queen here, so he doesn't have this knight. He's gonna go here. Thank you for the follow, Min. So yeah, 97 expected, honestly. He's trying to get here. Now the question is, short castle or long castle? I think short castle is okay. I can't really prevent this from happening. This is still a very good position, so I'm just gonna drop back, I guess. And we keep it, we move forward from there. Okay, so short castle, being solid. He castles as well, of course, yes. And now let's try to put pressure on this pawn. And I also want to play 96. I can't do it just yet, because the pawn is hanging. So yeah, we have that move as well. This pawn is controlling the entire position for him. So let's go here. So this cannot be easily developed. Okay. This is giving me the extra tempo that I needed. I like that. I can play this. Hitting the queen. And now we can play 96 or something. Or 96 is a very good move. And as soon as I get control of the dark squares here, I guess I should take with the rook. So he's forced to play f6 if he wants the bishop to get in the game. And I sort of like it. Oh, so he goes there. I guess he's trying to prevent this from happening. I can force my hand with bishop here. So he has to go f6, weakening the king. Yeah, so he goes f6. Pawn takes. We play knight takes. And we're completely winning now. So we have a very good pin that we can exploit, I guess, a little bit more by playing queen here. What else can we do? I sort of like this move a lot, because it threatens g4 as well. So g4 is basically... wait a second. He's just pinned himself. So g4, knight a6. Okay, so how do we do this? We're completely winning. I'm trying to be very, very annoying now. Oh, so he's preparing this move, right? He wants to play that. I should keep the initiative going by playing something like g4. So he goes knight a6. But knight a6, it attacks the pawn as well. Okay, but I had to play g4, I guess. So g4, so he doesn't go a6 with the pawn, but the knight instead. And the knight there is very stupid, isn't it? Ah, but he has knight f7 as well. I miss knight f7. I miss knight f7. That's my bad. I miss knight f7, so I guess we're gonna have to take what we have. Is there anything else that I can do here? I don't see any other tactics. What about... something like... queen here? He goes d5. e5. Come on. There's gotta be something better. I got to find it. Queen c3. Queen there. Tanks. Yeah, I guess I had to catch up my coins. So yeah, I don't really see anything, unfortunately. It's a bit sad, honestly. I thought I had a better ideas or plans. Okay. Let's just open up. Nice, he's helping me a lot with that move. Because it was winning, but it wasn't that easy to win. Now it is very easy. Okay, we got to 2,000. Nice. Let's have a look. I'm very curious about what was the best plan there, because I started to fumble. I was completely winning and I couldn't keep the pressure going to find like the crushing blow, you know, like the crushing move that is killing black on the spot. It's just that I missed knight f7. That was also a problem, missing knight f7. Why not take a6? Was I able to take it? I mean, I could, but then I lose the pin. Don't I just lose the pin there? If I take the knight? Was there a checkmate or something? I don't think so. So yeah, I knew that knight f6 seems to be an inaccuracy here. You have to commit a pawn first. You have to go either here. Well, it is a book move, but g6 would be wrong. Or not? Oh, it's still theory. But yeah, it's +1. Even though this is theory, it's really inferior for black because of e5. e5 is really disruptive. And the thing is that if you go h5, you can play g4 as well. And now the knight is really awkward. And you're getting so much space on the king side.
Chess photography.
Thank you, Chess Photography, for the follow. So the knight drops back, and in this position, we're almost winning already. It's 1.4. Yeah, it's really positive. It's really good. Bishop c4 makes sense. And then queen f3. Wow, this is theory. I had no idea. I was playing this out of intuition. And yeah, e6. I miss e6, but I know that this is very good for me because the dark squares are very weak. And the bishop is it's not doing anything. So queen a5, just trying to hit the pawn. I guess that short castle is possible here. Yeah, I knew that it was a move. That I can just simply castle. But I played this because I'm a human and I'm afraid of losing my pawns. But long castle is +2 for white. And I guess that the point is that after bishop takes, I can go knight here. Which is really hard to see. And then the best move for black is king f. Yeah, I don't think there is a serious point analyzing that because it's really hard to find it. Okay, but I played the human queen e3. And then short castle is not as good as long castle. I play short castle just because this is open, and he might create some counterplay here in some way. But now I'm losing the initiative. And that was a bad move. I knew that it was bad because it allows me to go here, and then we can finally exploit the R-square weaknesses. So now we're back in the game.
Braden.
So yeah, this move, it's crushing. Queen e7 helps even more, because now we have this. Ah, look at that. G4 is even better here. Because then the knight goes here.
Skill issue.
And I guess it's simply better. Lamb, are we ever getting a viewer tourney again? What is the price? It's very expensive, Zach. It's very, very expensive. Yeah, it's just that I'm not into it anymore. I just don't feel like doing it. So, yeah. Okay, so bishop g5, f6, pawn takes, bishop takes. And yeah, I was just winning here. Now, my question here, yes, queen here, it's fine. And then g4 is the best move. After knight h6. And this is what you meant, right? Why didn't you just take here? Yeah, absolutely. I totally missed that. That was the crushing move that I missed. I knew that there was something that I was missing. That's why I wanted to review this. And yeah, you're totally right. This is the tactical blow that is completely winning. I knew that there was something, but I couldn't find it because I'm stupid. So in this position, what did I do? I catch up my winnings, like my earnings, which were not that promising. It was like up on exchange and maybe a pawn. But
you stupid.
Yeah, right here, that was the move. Takes here and then g5 is crushing. How did I miss that? I'm so stupid. And now it's just take. But it's pin, so there is no rush. The engine really likes bishop a6. That is just mean. It's a very clever idea though. Where is this analysis from? It's just .com, but a different account. And yeah, now if he takes, we have this. And now the queen, if the queen ever takes this pawn, you can't take it, because if you take, then rook d7, it's a move. And you're losing the queen now. So yeah. And it's actually mating 3. Crazy stuff. So I'll go here. I take the lady. Imagine, let's just say he takes the rook. And now we just have mate here. Okay. Very instructive anyway. Very instructive. Let's play another one. We were very lucky with the rapid games. We're in 2000 in just 2 games. I used to play rapid, but I stopped doing it. I don't even remember why. Ah, yes, because I achieved my goal. Okay. Alright, so let's play another Sicilian. Knight f6 this time. Very standard chess. Bishop b5, which is a line that I really don't like facing. Because it forces me to commit my knight to a square that I don't really like, which is d7. So this is one of the most annoying variations that I face with the Dragon Sicilian. I think that this one and the Yugoslav attack are the 2 most annoying variations when people play like this. I don't really like it that much. Alright, so let's ask the bishop out. What does he want to do? I'm gonna take here with the bishop, or simply grab some space on the king side. Alright, so he's doing this, which I'm not really a fan of. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna waste a tempo, not taking immediately, because that's exactly what he wants. He gets the knight here. And we're gonna try to play this, so the knight is not able to take this pawn, which is sort of good because he's gonna have double pawns, but at the same time, it's not that great either. It's like, but we can make it good. If the knight goes to a4, I'm winning. So let's see what he does. So the knight has to go here or here. Oh, so he went to a4. I should be able to win this now with queen a5. Hitting the knight. Yeah, he plays b3 exactly like I thought. And I am losing a couple of pawns though. My idea is to take the bishop and then take here. But what I'm seeing as a problem is this move. But he has to capture back my piece, right? So we do have time to defend e7 effectively. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm taking here, pawn takes, bishop takes, and I guess we're fine. I guess we're good. So if he takes on e7, which is also a move, we simply drop back. And we have even knight here. So yeah, he has to take here. And now we should defend this pawn. The only way I see it do that, it's just playing rook e8. Rook e8. And this should be winning. Just gotta be careful now, because it's easy to blunder anyway. So knight h5 is helping me also, I think. What bothers me a little bit is that if I go knight e5, I do have problems. So I'm thinking about playing f6, or maybe knight b6, which is not a move that I'm really enjoying playing, because this knight is useless for him right now. I mean, he can reroute like this, but that is a waste of time. Playing knight b2, knight c4. Knight c4 is okay for him. So I had to go here and try to connect my pieces, I guess. So I'll try to do that, I guess. So yeah, knight b6, because I really need my bishop in the game. I'm sort of forced to play it, though. And then we're going to target this pawn with bishop b7, something like that, I guess. Now, my dark squares are very weak. I have dark square problems since I gave away my bishop for the exchange. But if we get this to an endgame, I should be winning. And I think that I have a better idea, which is this one. I think I really like the move e6. And I could have done this as well. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, he's trying to be cheeky about it. Okay, let's play this, threaten this. I'm trying to remove the bishop from here, which is a dangerous piece, honestly. Alright, so he is trying to... I don't get this very well. I'm gonna take like this, I guess. And he blundered the queen. I don't know, what the fuck are they smoking? It's really weird that they are 2,000 players and they are losing like this. I just don't get it. So this is the 2,000 competition nowadays? Damn, bro. I should be 2,300 or something. What the fuck? Haha. Oh, he's laughing. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it is. I think that you should do better. I'm kidding. I always blunder like that also. Hello 800. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello 800. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, that was a clean game as well, I guess. I mean, he did blunder the queen. But, everything makes sense. Maybe here I made a mistake when I play this move and this. There is one little detail that I forgot about, and maybe this plan is back just because of that little detail. And it is that I had to take this one first, I believe. Yes, I had to play this first, because after pawn takes, now queen hit is very good. The other variation has a little problem. If I play it now, he has this move. And if he plays that, my queen on a5 is really hard to justify. And the bishop's still here in the game. And I guess I have to go with something like that. Which I guess is still okay. Especially because the knight is out of the game. But yeah, it's allowing this. So yeah, that was a little miscalculation for sure. We only loses to 1400. Yeah. No, but Rapid seems to be a different breed. I've been telling you that as well. Like, there is a massive distinction between Rapid players and Blitz players. Blitz players are way more dangerous. Rapid players, I think that there is like wiggle room, and sometimes you get very strong Rapid players, and sometimes you just don't. I don't think I have faced a strong Rapid player yet, and we have played 3 games. Because everyone on Tuesday is cheating. I also think so too. On Title Tuesday, it's way too try hard. And I would say that some of them might be using engines. Yeah. Well, General Sod had a game where he got a player banned. Sorry, he was facing a cheater, sorry. So it's very common. It's very common indeed. Okay, so I would say that E5 was a little bit better for him, but I'm not complaining about taking this. So let's just pin immediately. Well, bishop e2 is going to be play anyways. It's not really a way for me to stop that. But the idea is to play e6 now. Get the bishop out. Try to be very active with the pieces. So it is a very standard game. Because he played something weird, right? He went here. I guess that was a mouse click. No one plays d3. Yeah, d3 is a mouse slip, bro. Probably that's the name of the opening. Mouse slip. Yeah, Sot is exactly who I was thinking of. 2 players playing each other had 99. Yeah.
Carson.
Thank you, Carson. I appreciate the follow. In a 55. Yeah, it's just crazy shit. Yeah. No, I think they are cheating. I feel the engine. It's something that I say usually, like when I face opponents, you can tell when people are cheating. And sometimes, I do feel the engine when I face these 1400, 1500 players. Because they play, like, so well and so quickly. It's so annoying. Anyways, I don't want to traumatize anyone. So, just keep making moves. What is this? I think this is such a bad idea, but I guess we'll see if I'm wrong. But I would always take that pawn. I mean, sorry, that bishop. Like, what is wrong with him? Alright, let's keep the pin. I mean, we're not really pinning anything. But this looks very weak now for white. The dark squares are very weak. So I can't really prevent these 2 ideas. I'm gonna go here to prevent this one. The knight here, it's a bit annoying, so I'll be eager to sack. And try to target the pawn on e3. If he goes knight b5. Okay, I like c5 here also. Trying to weaken this as well. And challenge the center immediately. Now, knight b5 will be met by this. And if it takes, the pawn on c2 is the target. That's what I'm calculating. I don't want to lose my bishop pair for nothing, so we're gonna drop back. And if it takes, I take. And then if it takes the queen, I have an intermediate move. Queen takes e3. That makes sense, but it damages the pawn structure. So I think it's a mistake to play c3 in this position. Because I have a6, pawn takes, and now trading this, I like it because he will have weak pawns that I can easily target. And I'll try to do just that. But we're not going to rush it. We're going to play knight c6 first. And then queen a5 it seems annoying. Or maybe b5 first. But we have targets. Targets that we can hit. Maybe queen e7 more solid. And the bishop is beautiful. If he is a good player, he has to get rid of this bishop. And he's not doing that. So now, I'm gonna play queen e7, keeping the initiative going, and we're gonna try to bring the rooks to the game. Okay, so he's pushing there. Now this pawn seems very hard to defend. So what would be your plan if I go queen here immediately? Going for material in this at this stage, I don't think it's a great plan. So instead of doing that, I'll try to be disciplined and play and activate my rooks. Because I could go queen a3 and try to chase that pawn, but I want my rooks in the game first. I'll get my rooks in the game, and then I'll try to get these pawns. Okay, so queen e3 because I guess he wants to play something like this. Now we're gonna go here, hitting the weaknesses, like by X-ray. And now I really like this move. Now that all the pieces are involved in some shape or form, tactics by appear. And we might be able to have something good going on for us. Now knight h4 could be a problem, but I think I have this. And it's getting messy. So the knight cannot be moved. So he moves the knight. I can take on d4 because the pawn is pinned. And I think that's what I'll do. I'm losing my bishop though. It is sort of a problem. But this position I think is very good for me. And it's all possible, like this tactic appear in the game because I involve my rooks in it. So that's why you gotta be disciplined, right? You see these pawns and you want to take them immediately. You can do that, yes, but probably the best approach is actually simply getting all the pieces in the game. You do that first, and then you go for material gains. So now that we are winning, he has to be careful. If he goes f2, I'm just gonna try queens. And I'll be able to win this endgame very easily, I would say. Okay, so he goes there trying to defend all the weaknesses that we created. But I think it's too late. I think it's just too late. So I'm just gonna go here now, trying to pile up the pressure on c3. You can go here, but I'm getting this pawn. Now the question is, should I take with the queen or the rook? I don't think it matters that much, but another thing that we were talking about is keeping the initiative going. So I also like this move a lot. But the rook is perfectly placed, I would say. So I could take with the rook. I think I'm going to take with the queen. I'll take with the queen just because I'm looking at this as a possibility for him. So now that I have won a couple of extra pawns, I want to be solid, and I want to play something like maybe rook here. Maybe I should have taken with the rook. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitating a little bit. I know that it's winning. I know that much. It's just that queen f2 allows counterplay on f7. I think that's the best move that he should play now. And I'm trying to see how to defend that. I guess I'm gonna go rook d7. Just rook d7 and then probably here try to get this pawn. We're also targeting this. It's a very lovely position anyways. I was thinking about playing queen d7, but I remember this principle where your queen shouldn't be doing this type of things, like playing defense like that. It's just not for it. It's the strongest piece and it shouldn't be committed to defend the pawn on f7. So based on that, I'm quitting this idea. Instead, I think I should play rook d7 and then bring the rook here and put pressure on c3. That makes more sense. That makes more sense, I guess. Right, so he goes rook b1. which is a terrible blunder. Once again, I don't understand what's going on. All of these are play actors. I'm just gonna take it. What the fuck? They made me shy. He's probably resigning now. Okay. Good. Another clean game. I don't know what's going on that people are blundering so much against me, but I'll take those. I'll take it. Bro, I just got to 2,000. You're making my achievement meaningless. What do you mean? What do you mean? 2,000 is still a very good rating, especially for rapid. I don't know if we should fall in love with this, but once you're a 2,000 rated player, you are top 99 something, 99.6, 99. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. I'm 2024 and I became a top 99.8 player. So yeah, like in how many disciplines can you get this? Like this is like NBA level. If you take it to basketball, for example, you see, so I would say that, I mean, you're not Stephen Curry, you're not Luka Doncic, but hey, you're a role player. You're a role player, okay? So yeah, no, you should be proud of yourself. 2,000 is very good. Okay, chat, we cooked. We've been cooking. We've been cooking, everyone. But it hasn't been difficult. We've been very methodic though. Also, we've been playing steady moves, nothing crazy. Trying to justify every decision, how chess should be played, and we've been doing great. I'm gonna take a break now. I'm gonna eat something and I might be back later. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely afternoon, a good evening, and I'll see you maybe later. Thank you. Bye bye.